right, so now we're going to go ahead and shift gears and we're going to discuss the CPC. Whenever we're taking the RID NIC test, especially in conjunction with the interview portion of the test, we want to do our best to memorize the CPC. Now the CPC is consisting of 7 tenets and also 38 subtenets. So it's important, if we don't memorize the entire CPC at the very minimum when we're going in for the interview portion of that test, to memorize the 7 main tenets of the CPC. So we're going to go ahead and discuss that now. The CPC, of course, is the RID code of professional conduct. Hence the CPC. Now when we're trying to memorize the tenets of the CPC, and there's 7 altogether as we mentioned, we want to try our best to memorize the first letter of each tenet. If we can do that, then that'll help us to more easily memorize the entire CPC. Now, the first 3 tenets of the CPC are actually begin with the letters C, P, and C. So that's going to help us memorize those first 3 tenets. The first tenet of those being confidentiality. One of the main and one of the most important tenets in all the CPC is confidentiality. Tenet number 2 is professionalism. Again, something that's very important and a must for us who are certified interpreters. The third tenet is conduct. Conduct and professionalism go hand in hand. So those are the first 3 tenets of the CPC. Now for tenets 4 through 7, you have to get a little bit more creative to memorize those first letters of each of those tenets. What helps me is knowing that tenets number 4 and 5 begin with the same letters, which are R, C. Now for me personally, what helps me to remember RC is that I have a friend whose sign name is RC on the chin. So that kind of helps me. If I can remember him, then I can kind of remember the tenets 4 and 5 of the CPC. So the 4th tenet is R, respect for C, consumers. Tenet number 5 is R, respect for C, colleagues. RC and RC. So here we have tenets 1 through 5 already knocked out. The last 2 tenets, again, getting creative. I have another friend of mine whose sign name is BP on the heart. So again, if I can remember my friend, if I can remember her, I'll remember BP. Which brings us to tenet number 6, which is, if I can remember how to spell, business practices. As you can see, this slide again outlines those 7 main tenets of the CPC. It also shows each of those tenets subtenets, which are 38 altogether. Now, if you're ready to take the interview portion of the NIC test and you're going in thinking which tenet is the most important of the 7, or which is kind of a good answer no matter what scenario I get, keep in mind you can't go wrong with these 2 tenets. Likely your answer to the ethical scenario presented in the test will indicate or will allow for you to incorporate one of these 2 very important tenets in your answer. First, we have tenet 1.1, which is to share information only on a confidential and as-needed basis. And then also tenet 2.3, which is to render the message faithfully and accurately. So no matter what the scenario that you're presented in the NIC test interview portion, it's a very good chance one of these or even both of these tenets will be a very good answer for you to present in your response.